Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our 10th birthday party. I am so amazed that we filled this room and we booked out 4 weeks ago. So thank you.
Tonight, we're celebrating incredible nominations across all award categories. Every single achievement we're recognising, every leader we're honouring. You being here, you showing up, that matters.
Strongly believe that it is neurodivergent young people that will change the world for all of us. I also just wanted to say thank you so much to the team. I felt like this has been the most inclusive, beautiful evening, which has just made me feel really, really comfortable. So thank you so much.
I am absolutely besotted. Cannot even describe how amazing it is to win something like this. Do you know what it does? It just highlights that we are actually doing the right thing, that STEM Hub is on the right track, that there are people outside of STEM Hub who can actually see what we do is actually making a difference, and so it means the world. It really does.
Just look around. It's 600 odd people here tonight. We all have our stories and we come from different backgrounds, different colors, different languages, different parts of the world.
It's so important to be able to speak about diversity, to bring it all together. It's really important for business. The awards are amazing, watching all the people doing what they're doing and seeing the impacts they're making. It's just an amazing foundation with great people.
It's my privilege to announce this year's TechDiversity Champion Award winner. Make It Easy app by We Make It Easy.
I'm not quite confident it is sunk in that we have been recognised. I wasn't expecting this one, let alone the other one. It's so exciting to see people with intellectual disability up the front of these kinds of awards and being recognised.
Diverse brains are making an impact in the world in ways that are going to count for years and decades from now. What we decide and what we do and how we do it will matter for a long time to come.
Honestly, I've got absolute goosebumps. I love it. I love it. Hello, everyone. I'm joining today from the Gadigal land, and I'd like to pay my respects to the traditional owners, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, and their elders, past, present, and emerging. I'm Luli Adeyemo, Executive Director of TechDiversity, and I'm thrilled to have you here. Whether you're joining live or catching the recording later, thank you for the time. The next 30 minutes could be the nudge that you need to put your hand up for recognition, and I promise it's much easier than you think. So why are we here? The TechDiversity Awards exist to shine a light on the people and organisation making Australia's tech workforce not just more inclusive, but to recognise and celebrate strategic investments in workforce capability, innovation, and competitive advantage. The 2026 awards will carry the theme, Influence Redefined, Power in Every Voice, recognising the leadership that isn't about the loudest voice, but that creates a space for every voice to be heard, valued, and acted upon. After a record-breaking 10th anniversary last year in Melbourne, this year we're heading to Sydney, Australia's largest tech hub. We still need new pathways and innovation for women, neurodivergent talent, First Nations communities, career changers, and people traditional recruitment overlooks. That's why the TechDiversity Awards celebrate. The organisations already solving this, the leaders who didn't wait for permission. And I'm pleased to say nominations this year are tracking ahead of where we were at the same time last year, which was great. We're seeing incredible work coming through from government, financial services, aged care, cybersecurity, academia, and social enterprise. Initiatives in neurodivergent employment, STEM education, AI governance, disability inclusion, and community health. This is an ecosystem that's building better. But here's the thing. We know that there's more out there. Brilliant work that hasn't nominated yet because people aren't sure they're ready or they don't know where to start. So that's exactly why we're doing this webinar. Okay, quick overview of what we'll cover today. First, I'll give a snapshot of the first of the 5 award categories and what we're looking for. Then you'll hear from the legendary Deirdre, one of our co-founders and a judge with 10 years of experience on what makes a nomination stand out. After that, Brett, our chief judge, will walk you through what happens if you're shortlisted and the value of presenting to the judging panel. And then you'll hear from Sam, our 2025, and you saw Sam on the video just then, the 2025 Tech for Good winner and overall champion. So Sam will share her experience on nominating, winning, and what's happened since for Make It Easy. And finally, Stacey Hutchinson will talk you through the nomination platform step by step. And for those of you joining live, stick around for Q&A at the end. Drop any questions you might have in the chat and we'll do our best to answer them. So right, the 5 award categories. Let me just run through these quickly. So we've got the business category. So this is for organizations driving diversity and inclusion within their workforce or through their products and services. We have the government category, which is for public sector initiatives advancing inclusion in tech, policy, or service delivery. Education, which is programs creating pathways into tech for underrepresented groups. Campaign of the year, because there's no point having a great initiative if nobody knows about it. So this is for the campaigns that got the message out there. Tech for Good, Sam's smiling, Tech for Good. So this is technology that's creating real social impact, accessibility, health, environment, community. If your tech is making life better for people, this is the category for you. So who should nominate? You can nominate yourself, your team, your organization. You can nominate someone else's work. You can enter more than one category if that fits. And here's the part people always ask, how much does it cost? It's absolutely free. No cost to enter, none whatsoever. So, all right, let's hear from the people who know the process inside out. First up, I'd like to introduce Deirdre. Deirdre is one of the co-founders of TechDiversity and has been judging these awards, as I said, for over 10 years. She's seen hundreds of nominations and knows the ones that stood out. If you want to know what judges are actually looking for, she's the person to ask. Deirdre, over to you.
Thank you, Luli. It's wonderful to be here. I love talking about these awards, and I'm excited that we are tracking so well with our nominations so far. So thank you, everyone who's nominated, and just encourage other people to nominate. Do you know what's really interesting about these awards is that everybody is doing something in the diversity space. So you have to stand out under these awards. I often have people that have been unsuccessful in the awards say, but it is generating diversity. And that's awesome. People are doing awesome things across these categories. But these awards lift the game up to that next level. So all the entrants are generating programs and initiatives that foster inclusion. So you have to stand out from the crowd. Your nomination has to be unique. You have to say, why are you taking it that step forward? Why is your initiative better than all the other diversity initiatives? And it's really hard because everything that you're all doing is brilliant, and we need these programs to foster inclusion across the tech sector. But you have to stand out from the crowd. So the number one criteria is that unique quality, the why you. It's really important that you focus on that innovation and that unique quality of what you do. It must be, and it sounds silly saying this, but it must be technology related, and it must foster inclusion of diverse cohorts or a diverse cohort or a minority group. Often we'll see really strong technology nominations, or we'll see really strong diversity nominations, but not necessarily both of them. So you must be really clear on how this technology or a program within a technology environment is fostering inclusion, and be really clear, draw that out, be explicit, I guess I'm saying, in your nomination. And don't just focus on what's working well. Talk to us about your challenges and the hurdles that you've had to overcome. So our criteria, as well as the unique qualities, we're also talking about commitment and leadership and courage. And I love that word courage, because a lot of what you're doing takes courage. It takes courage to even suggest that your organization or yourself as an entity needs to do something in this space. So talk about the challenges, the hurdles, the courage that you've had to demonstrate, the commitment that you've had to demonstrate, not just to get it up, but to keep it going. That's a really hard part of what we're doing. These initiatives can't just be a flash in the pan. They've got to, have longevity so that we can maximize the inclusion of different groups. The other criteria is behavioral change. So talk in your response, what changes have you made? What's the outcome? What was the outcome you were seeking for this initiative, and what outcome have you actually achieved? So if you hit those criteria, and I'll just say them again, the uniqueness of the initiative, the behavioral change, the commitment, the courage and the leadership, and how it's actually contributing to diversity and technology. If you hit those, I'm sure you'll do really well. Back to you, Luli.
Thank you very much, Deirdre. And just before you go, Deirdre,
Yes.
because I know, for people out there that are still unsure or don't think what they're doing is worthy of entering, just one last word of encouragement for those people, because I know there's plenty of them.
Every single one of you, what you're doing is worthy of entering. When we started these awards almost 11 years ago now, we just wanted to share stories. We wanted to share stories so that other people could be encouraged. That's the whole basis of tech diversity. And it's no different from First Nations groups, sharing stories to encourage and to learn from those stories. So get your nomination in. We want to hear your story. We have a beautiful gallery of initiatives, and we want to inspire people. And you're going to hear from the wonderful Brett Findlay. We brought him in because he was inspired from year one. He goes, I want to get involved. I want to do something in this space. So please nominate. Please share your story. That's, for me, the most important part of this awards program.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Deirdre. And well, Brett, join us, because Deirdre's already given a soft introduction there. So let's talk about what happens when your nomination gets through.
Yeah.
So Brett is our chief judge and oversees the final judging process and works with over a panel of 50 judges from industry, government, education, and media. So he's going to walk through what it means to be shortlisted and why presenting to the judging panel is such a valuable experience, regardless of whether you win. So Brett,
Over
to you.
You got me, Luli, so that's okay.
I've got you already.
Yeah, you have. So thank you, Luli, again for inviting me to participate and lead the final round of judging process. And congratulations, first and foremost, for those that are actually watching today's webinar. And really to echo and support both Luli and also Deirdre's earlier comments. It's a really exciting opportunity. I'm privileged to have been involved now with tech diversity for over 10 years. And thanks to Luli and thanks to Deirdre. In terms of the judging process, there is a formal part of the judging, which Stacey will talk through. And to Luli's earlier comment, what we do is we activate a number of industry thought leaders, and we invite them to be judges. And that is the first round, which we'll talk to, and that will be facilitated through the platform, which Stacey will get onto a little bit later on. And then once we have a short list from that first round of judging, we then move into another group of judges, handpicked judges, that if you're successful and you are shortlisted, you'll be required to present to. Imagine it's like a virtual Shark Tank exercise. It's really exciting. It's fun. And my job is to make sure that you communicate your story, your purpose, your objective, and that the judges see why your particular initiative should be awarded. There is a criteria, and it's really important that, and Deirdre referenced this before in terms of the criteria for evaluation in the first round. There's also a criteria that we apply in the final round. That criteria is fair and reasonable. It's scored accordingly, independently by the judges who you present to. Nothing to be worried about. It's a lot of fun. We're just as nervous and excited about your presentation to us that you might be to the judges. I think my words of encouragement from last year is be yourself in your presentation. Talk through really the criteria and why you should be regarded in the category. But be yourself. We run a very tight ship through that evaluation process. No one gets more time than anybody else. We facilitate each of the questions and the criteria, and the judges are well versed in terms of the types of questions that they typically need to ask. They've all read your submissions, and we evaluate and give you feedback along the way. But it's exciting. It's fantastic. And for those that were successful last year and also in previous years, the general feedback that we've received has been very positive. So I encourage those that might be considering submitting, have a go. And then very much will guide you through the process. And if you are successful, I will ensure that I support you through that next round. And I look forward to seeing and look forward to you presenting to us. So good luck, and thanks, Luli.
Thanks. But before you go, because we really touched on a point there, to encouraging people to be themselves. I think just around it, it's not necessarily a slick, polished presentation that you're looking for. There is a conversation to understand a bit more about what they get. Brilliant.
Yeah, it's an excellent point, Luli. In fact, I think really the winners from last year didn't come with a polished presentation, didn't come with a video, they came along and they talked about their story, they talked about their success, they talked about their engagement with industry, they talked about their technology. And, I think the ones that really the judges highly regarded and awarded both met the criteria, but we actually learned the most about their submission and why they should also be regarded as top in their category.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks, Brett, and thank you for your support. We're looking forward to working with you again this year.
Anytime. Thanks.
Brilliant. Cheers, Brett. Right, so I hope you all found that really useful. So now, drum roll. I would like to, we're going to hear from someone who's been all the way through every stage. So Sam is the co-founder of Make It Easy. Last year, she nominated for the Tech for Good category, and they won. And then she won the overall TechDiversity Champion Award. Since then, a lot has happened for Make It Easy, and I'll let Sam tell you all about that. So Sam, if you want to turn your camera on.
Hi, Luli. Thank you so much for having me. This is so exciting.
Sam, wait, I need to spotlight you, Sam. I need to bring you to the fore.
Will do. I think when I started out one of the things that really attracted me to, and this was the first award we ever nominated for, was that it was free. It wasn't a revenue generating exercise in itself. So it meant that if we got anywhere in this award, it was legitimate. It was the real deal. It wasn't just this buy an award kind of process. And that was really attractive for us. And also when I started looking at the judging panel, I was like pretty blown away. Like super impressive judging panel. And not as intimidating as I thought they would be when we got to the video stage. But if I can go into what we did, filling in the form, that in itself was a really useful process because it helped me clarify. It really did actually. I know what our purpose is. You know, we are totally driven by the heart and by inclusion. So that part was really easy. But in terms of what our goals were moving forward and how far we'd already come at the time, those were things that I probably hadn't clarified. I hadn't written a proper business plan. I mean, I'd probably done a GPT version, but not the real deal. So that was really, really useful for me. Helped me clarify our own story. And it was really actually very validating going through that process. It helped me not just clarify, but learn that what I was doing was actually pretty awesome. You know, it felt great. So that was good. Unfortunately, sorry, I'm here on Ghana land, by the way, too, in South Australia. Pay my respects, please. Ben and Zach, who work with us, who are young men with intellectual disability, they're not here on the call today, but for good reasons. Ben's at his other job, and Zach is at uni today, so he's unable to be here. So it falls to me. Luli, where did you want me to go? Do you want me to talk about the panel experience?
Yeah, please, Sam.
Yep, will do. So when we went to the panel, when we got through to the panel, that part was pretty exciting. I don't actually feel like it was a lot of work to prepare for that because it was really just telling our story in our words. And we brought our young men with intellectual disability along, and they told the story for us in words that, you know, they're just so genuine and from the heart. They knew exactly what the product is, what it does, and how it helped them, and what they contributed to building that product. So that was very good. I will say a little hint for everyone. When you're doing the initial application, can I suggest we included some videos of people using our product for the first time. And I never heard from the judges, but I knew that when I uploaded them, I thought, this is really good. This is the mind-blowing stuff. I'd be keen to know from Brett whether that was something that really impressed upon him at the time, and the other judges. So since we won the award night was absolutely spectacular. I had no idea it was such a huge special event. And in fact, I got there before my brother who works with us, and I called him up and I called him up. I said, John, this is really big. You know, and there I was thinking, oh my gosh, I should have gone to a proper hairdresser and done all the things. I did put on a frock though, so I did it right. I did it right, Lily. Then to be called up as the winner was absolutely extraordinary. And then at the end, we were already celebrating and we, you know, I'd had a drink or two. And then they announced the Champion Award, and I didn't even know there was an overall Champion Award. And then they called us out, and I just can't tell you how exciting that was to get up there for that second time and to put the young men that we work with on the stage with intellectual disability, and you know, and for my son to get there and, you know, put his hand on his heart and say, you know, I love you, Mum, and I love the app, and I love all of you out here was just, yeah, it was pretty special.
You're gonna make me well up again, Sam. Yeah, I mean, it was. Thank you for that, Sam. I think, you know, that there literally wasn't a dry eye in the room, and yeah, just raising the point there. I think, you know, it is a big night. It is a special occasion. You know, we have over 500 people at the gala event. As you've seen it in the video then, and I just think, you know, regardless of, you know, winners, participants, attendees, it's something to celebrate, and it's a privilege to be a part of it. So, Sam, thank you very much for everything that you've done, everything you continue to do. Um, and yeah, hopefully we'll see you again at the awards, and we look forward to
Absolutely.
the continuing journey of Make It Easy.
Thanks, Luli.
So let me, hopefully you can all see me. Great. Right, so you've heard what the judges look like, you've heard what the finalist experience is, you've heard from someone who went all the way, and now how do you actually do it? So Stacey is going to walk you through the nomination platform step by step. She'll show you how long it takes, where to find the FAQs, and how to make sure your submission is complete. Now, quick note, Stacey has pre-recorded this segment as she couldn't be here today. She's on holiday. If you've got any questions about the platform after watching, please feel free to drop Stacey or myself a line. Stacey's details will be sent through after this, but it's stacey@bestcasescenario.com.au. So, Tet, if we can roll Stacey's video, please.
Thanks, Luli. Hi, everybody. My name is Stacey, and as mentioned, I head up the awards program. So I just really quickly want to take you through a couple of points regarding how do you make a nomination. Now, the first place I would highly recommend you go to is our website. And if you see on here, we've got some great resources available to help you, including looking at past winners, past nominations, see the kind of initiatives that have previously been entered, see the ones that have previously won. The most important part here, I would suggest, is going to the awards FAQs. In here, you will see lots of great questions, but also you'll be able to see the questions that get asked as part of the nominations process. So this will allow you to prepare, get all of your answers together before you then have to go into the actual portal and make your submission. So it gives you time. Now, when you are answering these questions, you've got to think of our judges. They've never heard of you before, maybe, and therefore, does it read well? Does it make sense? For somebody who's never read it before, is the impact clear? Have you really thought about the wording that you need to bring this to life? So this allows you, by going into the FAQs, to really think about your answers before you submit them. So when you are ready, if you go again back to our website, there's links there that take you to the portal. Here you just need to create a login if you haven't done so previously, and then it gives you a step-by-step guide on what you need to enter to complete your nomination. Now, with the portal, you can go in and out as many times as you want until you are ready to submit. So when you are ready, then all is good. Now, the other thing to think about is this applicable for more than one category? So if you've got a great initiative and that's done great work, was there a marketing campaign? Was there anything built? Was there any app? Was there any technology that was created to support it? Because if so, it might be eligible for another category. So there are just a few things to think about. Just to reiterate, head to our website, head to that tab with the events, and all the information that you should need will be there. Thank you.
Thank you, Stace. Right, so I should come back in, hopefully. You might be able to see me, you might not, but you know that I'm here. Okay, dokes. So let me leave you with a few key dates. Nominations close the 30th of April this month, so just a few weeks away. So please don't sit on it. Let's get to it. The awards night is Friday, the 31st of July in Sydney at the Sofitel Wentworth. So we'd love to see you there. Let's just recap on what we've covered today. It's free to nominate, no cost, no catch. Strong nominations are specific, evidence-based, and tell a clear story. Even if you don't win, the process itself gives a real valuable insight and feedback and exposure to 50 plus judges. The platform's straightforward. Stacey's walkthrough shows exactly how to do it. There are 5 award categories: business, government, education, campaign of the year, and tech for good. So there's likely a fit for your work, or many fits for your work. For those joining live, thank you. Drop any final questions in the chat and we'll get to as many of them as possible. For those watching the recording, thank you too. Go nominate. Seriously, your work deserves to be recognised and to be seen. So this is the TechDiversity Awards 2026. Influence redefined, power in every voice. Thank you very much.